Today I'll be taking you through the year 2016 Kcse Computer Studies Practical, that is paper 2. Remember, we have done 2017, we have done 2018, and we have done 2019. Therefore, they are still in this same playlist in video format. You can still access them in my YouTube channel where you have got this. Therefore, to start with, we first of all look at the question, and therefore the question is: Perfect Pizza factory manufactures pasta for distribution to restaurants in Nairobi. Assuming that you are now working for the factory and have been given the following sales data, therefore you have restaurant, the month of July to December, we have total sales and average. Then we have restaurants, narcos all the way to shooters, and these are the sales. Then we need to have total monthly sales. Therefore, part A, enter the data shown above into a spreadsheet and save it as exam 1. Therefore, never confuse a spreadsheet and a database, because you'll actually score 0 if you do that. Therefore, you have been told to save it as exam in capital space 1. Therefore, save exactly as you have been asked to. Therefore, the first step is just to go to search here. Then you type Excel. You launch your Microsoft Excel application. Now, once you launch your Microsoft Excel application like that, it is important you create a folder. Like now, I can right click, go to new, then I go and click a folder. Then I can call my folder which I 2020. Then now I redirect my work to this folder. Therefore, just go to File, then Save As. Then here my work is on desktop. Therefore, I go to desktop, then search HI 2020. I double click. Then I have been told to save my work as exam space 1 in capital. Therefore, I just click on save. Therefore, up here you can see that I have saved my exam the way the examiner wants. Therefore, we go ahead and from A1, then don't forget 2. That is row 2 has been skipped. Therefore, we have 1, then we skip to number 3. Therefore, let's start typing that. Therefore, we have the restaurants. Then we have the month of July. Therefore, spellings must be exact. August. Then we have October. Then we have November. We have December. Then we have total product sales in title case. That means every first letter of every word is capitalized. This is practical, therefore it must be practical. Practical is practical. Therefore, there is no playing about that. This one can be capital letters or it is small letters. They must be exact. Then, if you are very keen, the field, this field here, total sales, that one, this field here has been text wrapped, and therefore we need to go and do that. Therefore, be keen, you click, then you go to this point here, you go to text wrap. Therefore, you can see it has text wrapped that way. Then this one should be, if you look at this one, it has raised up, but here they are all in the same line. Therefore, you must also be in a position to do that by clicking on this button here. Then we skip these 2. This one has been skipped. Therefore, we also skip that. This one has been skipped. Therefore, we go to the number 3. Number 3, we have narcos. As we go down, we have baggies. Then we have Kenga. We have Tika. We have Apetos, then we have Maris, then we have Generous, then we have my cave, then we have Shooters. That way, therefore, then from there we skip 11 and 12, we go to 14. 14 we have total monthly sales. Sales is in small letters, therefore I also need to extract that one. Therefore, if you go to my question paper, you'll notice that this one has been extract. That is, this one is extract. This one is extract, and therefore we need to have that one done its justice. Therefore, you just go to click that. You click when the cursor is not moving, then you go to extract exactly the way it looks like. Then you'll notice that whatever is inside here is actually bold. It is bold, and on the other hand there is some borders. Therefore, you just click on this point, then you put all borders that way. Therefore, our work will look like that one. Then from there we start now feeding the figures. We have 345.67. You can opt to feed downwards or vertically. 456.7. Then we have 556.78. Then we have 201.345. Therefore, that is the data we have, and therefore, after now typing the data the way it looks like, we can now go to our question. Therefore, we have skipped these two, 11 and 12. Then we can now go to our question. Therefore, we have now our 10 marks. Therefore, the sales for Apetos for October are October Apetos. Therefore, we shall go to Apetos October, then change that figure to this. Therefore, we go to October, then Apetos, this figure here. We have been told we change that figure to 115.669. That way. Therefore, we have done that. Then we save our work. We go again to the next question. Okay, move the records containing Kcse information to the beginning of the above list. Therefore, we shall use drag and drop. Therefore, the examiner wants we move Kcse record. Therefore, this is the Kcse record. Move the record containing Kcse information to the beginning of the list above knuckles. So you hold here, then you drag that way. Therefore, you have now left this one blank. That is called drag and drop. You just go to the corner. When the cursor turns into a four-headed arrow, you hold the mouse and drag. That is drag and drop. Therefore, we can still go to our question and see. Therefore, Tika is the first one. Then the next one, delete the blank row after shooters. Therefore, we again go to the blank row after shooters. This blank. Delete the blank row. Therefore, you right click, then you select delete. Therefore, you have deleted. We also have the next one mark. Then we go back, format all numeric values to 2 decimal places and use comma separator. Therefore, numeric values means you are talking of all the numbers. Therefore, be very careful when highlighting. You are only highlighting that is the numeric field. You can either right click or straight away go to this part here. We are dealing with the decimal places. Therefore, you come to this part called number. Just here, you click the comma like that. Then, once you click the comma, you will see that comma has been applied. Then we need 2 decimal places, and since we cannot see 2 decimal places here, you can now try to use this. Now this one increases the decimal places. You can see those ones are 3, and therefore to reduce, we just use the other one, that is 1 decimal places, that way. Alternatively, you can just click this arrow, then a dialog box will come. This is the dialog box. You click, then this dialog box comes. Therefore, you just go to number because you are dealing with the number. Then you can choose this one, then put 2 decimal places here, and then you can also click on this. Therefore, you can choose this, type 2 decimal places here, then tick this, use comma separator, this one comma separator, then you can click on OK. Therefore, those are the 2 methods where that you can use to apply decimals and comma separator. Therefore, after doing so, we can go to the next question. Use a formula in column H2. Use a formula in column H2 to calculate the total sales for the first restaurant, 1 mark. Therefore, use a formula in H2. Therefore, you go to where H2 is. H2 is this. Then, when you are now in H2, that way you can just go to the end here. You can see it is in H2 in the name box. Therefore, you are in the correct place. Therefore, use a formula in H2 to calculate the total sales for the first restaurant. Therefore, there are many ways of doing that. You need the total for all this. Therefore, you can highlight up to that point. Then just go to the last part here, this one. You hit this button once, auto sum, and therefore then try to drag this a bit to remove that hash error. When you see that hash, it means you expand the row, that is the column height here, the column width, sorry. This is the column width, the row has height, but the column has width. Therefore, when you had seen those hash, these ones, it means you adjust. And therefore, that is the answer. Therefore, just highlight. That is 1 mark. Then, we go to the next question. Copy the formula down to calculate all the total sales. Therefore, that is very simple. You just click here, hold the cursor that way. Therefore, when the cursor, you just go to this corner. When the cursor turns into black plus sign, you hold and drag. It will automatically calculate all the others. That one is called autofill, autofilling, automatic filling. Then from there, you can go to use a formula to calculate the total sales for the month of July. Use a formula to calculate the total sales for the month of July. We have already done that. Therefore, in the month of July, the total sales. Okay, the examiner is asking us to do it here. Therefore, use a formula. When you are told to use a formula, you can use any method that calculates. And therefore, for that matter, you just highlight. We are here to make life simple. You just highlight that way. Therefore, the answer will drop here. Then you go all the way to the end. You hit auto sum. Then you come back. Well, for this is the answer. For that one, you can just drag the answer here. You can just drag this answer by holding down here. Therefore, this is the answer, since this is now 0. Therefore, the answer for that one is that. Alternatively, you can just type equal sign, then click this, hit plus, click that one, hit plus, 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 then hit enter. You see, you get the same answer. Therefore, that's what the examiner is asking us to do. Then after doing that, we go on, copy the formula across. Therefore, you just now come to this point. When the cursor turns into a black sign, you drag. That's what the examiner is asking. Now, this hash means you adjust here a bit. That means adjust. Therefore, this is the answer. That's whatever the examiner was asking us to do. Then we go on and on using an appropriate function. Now we are using a function, not a formula. When we're talking a formula is any mathematical expression that can solve a problem. But a function is a user-defined formula That means it must use a keyword like average, sum, product, max, count, rank, search. Therefore, use an appropriate function, calculate the average sales for each restaurant in column I1. Therefore, I shall go to I1. Now I1 is this one. We go to I1. I1 is this. That is in I. Okay, the average in I. This average is in I1. Therefore, you're calculating the average. Therefore, the average, we can either, since we have the total, we can just say total divided by how many months? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. But since we are using a function, that will not be possible. Therefore, you just come and type equals average. You open the bracket, then you drag up to this point, you hit the first value of July, then you go back, you put a full colon, then hit the last value of December. That way, you see it has taken. Then you now close the bracket and hit enter. As simple as that. Therefore, this is the average. And if you look at this point here, you can see the average. Therefore, to calculate the average, you just do it as simple as that. Then we can go back to the next question. For format formula, okay, we are supposed to drag this this way up to that point so that you can get all the averages. Now this error means you are dividing by 0, therefore this is 0. That is correct the way it is. Since there is nothing there, it is just telling us we have divided something with 0. Then format column H and I to currency with the 2 decimal places, column I and H. Therefore, you are doing this. Then come to this point here, hit that button, change this one to currency, 2 decimal places. They did not tell us to put the currency symbol. Therefore, just click on that way, currency with this. Okay, but you can choose any currency for that matter, because the examiner did not specify. We are doing currency, therefore it can be like that. Then this means you adjust a bit. It is too large, the data is large, so you need to adjust, and therefore when you adjust, this one changes, the text wrap changes as the width, column width increases. Therefore we carry on. Given that the sales were 10%, the July sales were 10% above the sales for June in all restaurants, enter the label percent increment in A16, add a value 10 in B16. Therefore, you need to do that one practically. We go to this. Therefore, we have been told enter the label percent increment in A16. Therefore, you go to A16 and then type percent increment. Therefore, that's what you're doing. Then you have been told go to B16. Now B16 is this one. You type 10. Therefore, that's what the examiner has told us to do, and therefore we can adjust a bit to have the difference. Therefore, this is the percent increment. This is 10. Then what else? Insert a column before July and use absolute cell referencing to calculate the sales for June. Therefore, insert a column before July. Therefore, we go to July. Where is July? This one, before July. And therefore, you right click, then insert before July. That is after. Before should come first. Therefore, insert. Therefore, you have inserted a column before July. This is July. Then we have been told, after we have inserted that column, then we are told insert a column before July and use absolute cell referencing to calculate the sales for June. now that we have been told, given that July sales were 10% above those of June. For now, we are calculating for June. Calculate the sales for June. So we need to go here and type June. We type June. Therefore, you're typing June. Then we are using absolute cell referencing. Absolute cell referencing means the formula does not change even if it is copied to another cell. That means since we have been given the 10% here, 10% is in B16, and therefore that means I shall type that equals $sign, that is to say it will not change. We are rocking it not to change. B $sign 16, now 16 $sign 16. That means computer has taken, oh no, it should be in B16. Therefore 10 was supposed to be here. 10 was supposed to be here, not here. Therefore you are now in a B, good, in B16, and therefore we remove this. Therefore we are saying that B16, you see now the computer has taken that one. It means that B16 will not change. What will change is only the value of July, which is relative. Relative means it will keep on changing, but this part will not change. That's why I have put the $sign. Let's see what will happen. We are doing 10%. Therefore it is 10% of that. That means increment. We have put 10, and therefore we need it to be 10%. Therefore this one, this figure will change. Will be this one will change. It will be, first of all, we remove this. Therefore in this part we have to change this. It will be equals to 10% divided by 100. Therefore that figure will remain as 1.1. Then at this point we shall come and say equals $sign B $sign 16. Therefore it will have picked this multiplied by this. We have been told, given that the sales July sales were 10% above, so mathematics. Therefore you have to make sure that this is 90 equals to 90 divided by 100. Therefore should be 0.9. It is less, not actually higher. So that this one can be less this 10%. So equals to $sign B $sign 16. That means it has taken 0.9 multiplied by now this value of July. Then you hit enter. Therefore you can see now this one should be now less. Then you drag downwards up to that point. Therefore that's whatever the examiner wants. If I click on this point, look at my formula up here. As I go down, the only part changing is the July part, C whatever, that is the relative. Therefore my formula is in absolute. Try to see what is happening. The B16 is not changing. What is changing is the July sales. Therefore we have now answered our question into using the absolute cell referencing. Then insert a column before July and use it. Okay, we have done that. Save the file as exam2. Save the file as exam2. Therefore you can have exam2 again. This one, save the file as exam2. Therefore you just go again, file, save as. We go to HI 2020. We change this one again. We have now exam2. We shall have 2 copies of the document exam2. So when I go to my folder, I should actually have 2 files. I have 2 files, exam1 and exam2. Now I'm working on exam2. Then we are still going on where? Using a formula on cell B17 and B18, respectively, using a formula on this and this respectively. Determine the number of restaurants whose sales were above this for the month of November. Therefore, for the month of November, that is 2 marks. Therefore, using a formula on B17 and B18. Therefore, first of all, B17 we resolve part 1, B18 we resolve part 2. That is what the word respectively means. Therefore, the number of restaurants whose sales, therefore, let's go to that. We go to, we have been told using B17. Therefore, we go to B17. This is B17. Therefore, you just go to equals to where November is, count if, then we go to November, we account if from here up to that point, comma, therefore sales were above 60, 1, 2, 3, that way, then you press that and then press, therefore 6 is the answer. Therefore we are trying to count for the month of November. Therefore the month of November is here. Therefore you start from G2 up to G11, whose value is this way. Therefore we are using count if the value of November, this one, that's what we are doing, above 60, that is above 60,000, and therefore out of this one, those sales were 60,000 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The answer should be 6. Therefore, the answer should be 6. This is the answer. The answer is 6. Therefore, we are right. Then we go to the next one. Using now B18. B18 is this. The maximum sales for the month of December. Therefore, just type month of December. Just type equals to max. Then you open the bracket, month of December, you hit the first one, you put full colon, you hit the last one, then you close the bracket, max. Therefore, this is the answer. Therefore, those are the answers. This one, those are the answers. 6 is the answer for this formula, count if 60,000. Then the next one is max, this one, max for the month of December, that way. Therefore, it should look like that one. Then from there, we can carry on. We need to create a line graph on a new worksheet. It is called chart sheet, monthly sales, using the file exam 2 in part 1 above and label the following. Therefore, you are creating a new chart sheet called monthly, that is monthly sales. We are using monthly sales. Therefore, you just go to this point here. We are creating a line chart, and therefore we are calculating the line chart. Can remove this one so that we can create our line chart. Can delete that. Then just go to these ones. We are creating the line chart for that. Then we go to insert, then line charts. Line chart, you hit the line chart, then you can choose a line chart like that. Therefore, this is our line chart. Then the way it is, you just go to this point here, move chart. We want it as a new sheet, and therefore you choose new chart. Then you type monthly sales in that one. The examiner didn't tell us how to save it. Therefore, just save it as monthly sales, that way. Then you click on OK. Therefore, our chart will be monthly sales, and it will be in a new sheet. Therefore, then you have been told chart title. This one, chart title, x-axis legend to be as follows. Therefore, chart title monthly pasta. Therefore, you just type that one in the title. That one is monthly pasta. cells. Mark huge spellings must be exact. Deck 2015 that way. Then we have been told y-axis. Therefore, you need to go where axes are. Axis. And now we are in this one. You can click this plus sign. Then axis titles. You tick. Therefore, you will get the axis titles. Therefore, the y-axis is total. Should be total monthly sales. Then we go again to this point. We have the axis. Therefore, we have the other axis here. The other axis is x-axis, month, that way. Then legend is the key. Let's see where the legend is. Therefore, the legend is there. Just click on this arrow. Then we need the legend at the right. This is the legend. This is the legend. The legend should be to the right. Therefore, you can see you have put month, total monthly sales, title, monthly, the way the examiner wants. Then from there, we have our work here. Then we have other here. Remember, this is now exam 2. We have also exam 1 untouched on the other one. Then from there, print exam 1, exam 2, and the graph in landscape orientation, 6 marks, a lot of marks. Therefore, for the monthly sales this way, you just go to page layout, then orientation. It's already in landscape, so we are safe. Then you go to this one, go again, page orientation, landscape. Therefore, you change it to landscape that way. Then after doing so, you'll go to file, then print. Then you'll be connected to your printer. Just hit print, and you get your work printed. Then after doing that, you close this, save. You close the exam paper. Then you now open exam 1, which is a copy of our original work. Therefore, you can see how exam 1 looks like. The exam 1 is the original work. The examiner, you know that you had actually done the text wrap and mark for you. Therefore, you can also go to page layout, orientation. You turn it to landscape. That way, therefore, you can see these dotted lines showing you where your paper size will be. Then you'll go to file, print. And therefore, we have scored 50 out of 50 in the spreadsheet question. After now doing that, see on our folder, we now go again to our question paper 2016. We go back to where our question paper was. Then we can look at this diagram here. Let's zoom this to 75%. Therefore, you're supposed to create this one. Therefore, in our next question, the figure on page 4 shows the design of cover page of a book. It comprises of the front, the back, the space in between where book pages will be attached. Use a desktop publishing package to design the cover page as follows. Therefore, create a new publication named book cover with the following page layout formats: paper size A4, orientation landscape, margin 3 centimeters or 1.18 inches all out. Then enter the text and graphics and format them as they appear. The font and back section of the back book cover, each measurement will be these ones, and space and the space between the measurements will be these ones, 45 marks. Save and print the publication. Therefore, our next question is desktop publication. On the blank page, you just go to page design, orientation, you set to A4. Then you go to this point here. You just go to custom margins. you assign 3 centimeters, 3 centimeters, 3 centimeters, then click OK. Therefore, after now having this, the way this one looks like, you need to pull the column guides here. Like now, I can pull this from here. I want to subdivide my page. The page starts from that point. If I also pull this to show the end of the pages, and therefore from this point, that is from 2.5, that is 2.5 all the way to 26.5. Therefore my page can be in a position to see my page center. Like for example, you have been told that the space between should be 1.7 centimeters, and therefore if we have our one there, then one, that is 1.7 should be up to that point, because this is 5, 6, 7 that way. Therefore you must be very keen trying to see where your page center will be by using this one. Therefore you just drag these things to make sure that your page is equal. Then from there we can start drawing our page. Just go to insert, then shape, and subdividing that, you go to insert, then you go to shape, then you can take the shape, draw it, then draw the other side that way. Then now click on this, go to shape, then go to pattern, then scroll down. We are using one of the patterns here. Like now we can use this, then we choose the color, then we can also choose the other color that way. Then we click on OK. Then you go to the other one, go to shape, then pattern. Then once you go to pattern, you can choose this one with the gray color, something of the sort. Then click on OK. That is, you go to pattern, scroll down here, we choose the pattern like this, choose the colors that are actually used that way. Therefore you have seen we have applied the same pattern. Then we need to go again, insert, then shape, then you can choose a shape. Like now we have this one has been drawn up here. Then go to this part here, then you have the gradient. And go to have the gradient. Yeah, gradient is almost gradient, more gradients. Try to play about with the gradient. Yeah, good. Therefore then go to this one and remove the shape outline. Shape, gradient, somehow very close to what we have. Then you right click, then you go to add text, and then we have Peters. We have Peters Sylvester. Enter. Ryan Caesar. This way. Then okay, you can just take a text box to make sure it is actually exact point where we need it to be, if we need it to be there. Rever, then you can choose that way. Then after doing that, you still go to this point. Now you can try to do that. Then we proceed on the same page. Go to that go to shapes, insert shape. That is we go to okay, go to this point here. We have beginning computer studies. If we just go to shapes, then you draw that one. Therefore we have beginning computer studies. That way, where now this one is big and bold, then this one is also big and bold. You just increase the font size, that way. Then you try to get some font size used. Try to use the font size that is close to what the examiner has used. Then after doing that, there is this part that looks like a laptop and a 6 end, that is the. Therefore you go to insert, then you draw this rectangle. You also draw another one, then this one should be inverted, so that when I bring it there, then send back. We need something close to this one. and therefore we look at that. You can group this one, just go to group, then you can assign it something like that color. Then now it can be reduced to sizes, the size that we want, and then copy, paste. We have another one there. Then there is this gadget that looks like a computer. So for this one, you just go and draw. You draw this, then go to insert shapes. Then you can have you can try to get a trapezium, a shape that looks closer to that. Yeah, this one is closer to that. Then you can turn this. Brings it there, then also drags this. Therefore, there is no laptop there. We just need to do that. Therefore, after doing that, we can try to increase the weight that way. Therefore, we have a gadget that looks like a laptop. There is a bit of some space here. That way. Okay, after now having that, you right click, you hold shift and then group. Therefore, it becomes something like a laptop. That this one is there, the other one is there. Therefore, you opt to have been very creative, so that you can be in a position to actually draw this diagram the way it is supposed to be done. Then we need to have something of the sort up to a point like that. We have white, then send back, then we can zoom and see what we have so far. Therefore, after now having that, you can change these ones to gray. Also, this one, shape outline, no outline. Then change this one to gray, something of the sort. It should be gray. Okay. And then after having done that one, I now go to this other part here. You just go to insert shape, then you draw this one up to somewhere there, and that one should be fed with pattern. With the pattern, but the pattern is somehow gray. Then now inside this, now this one is also supposed to have a thicker, should have a thicker border. This one should have a thicker border, and therefore just go and pick a text box, then type inside here, type now zoom in. You can now type that this is quick vision guide, and R is big, therefore you increase the font size for R. R is big and bold. Then this is bold and big, you increase the font size. Also Q is bold and big, and then this is, it is centered, before you center, and then this one is white, you go to format, then this one should be white. This one this one, that is the pattern, seems to be darker. And then quick revision guide. Then we have format should be somehow centered in between that thing. Then we have Nyota insert shape. We have Nyota publishing. Nyota publishing press. Nyota publishing press. This one should be Nyota publishing press. Search. This one is also a bit big. Nyota publishing press. Then we have this other text here. We have insert shape, then you have I'm searching for this. We have this rectangle, but should be tilted to fit there. Then should be color white that way. Then we have a text box, we draw text box, and type revision revised revised edition 2012 or whichever. Then we need to have this one to the next line. First of all, edit it from this point. Revised. For any spacing options. In spacing options. Okay, then after now having this, you center right, and then can anchor it inside here. That way should be black. Revised edition. Then this one should be centered. Also this one, the line spacing option should be somewhere there. Therefore, you have that. Then we now can deal with the spine. This spine here, the one with 1 or whatever centimeters. Therefore, you can just go to insert shape, then draw the spine. The spine should be that way. It should be grayish. Then we can type inside the spine, and we need to see what we are typing. Therefore, we are typing beginning. We are typing beginning computer studies a quick revision guide. A quick revision guide. We spell check this, a quick revision guide. And then now this one, we need to have text direction. So it should one should look like this, and this one. Them centered. Or I can just put it this way, make sure our needs are met. Then from there we can do the necessary, make a revision guide. Then we have our stars, this one. We can copy this, copy, paste, then bring one here. Then paste again, bring the other one, the other end. Then make them black, format, shape black, this one black. And now we can return our spine. We need this one somewhere. We need this one somewhere there. Then we also need this one at this angle, somewhere very close. So you must be very creative for you to have actually scored these marks. Therefore, after doing that, if after now doing this, after doing search, you again now go to the other part. You go to insert shape, then you take the rounded, that is the rounded rectangle, that is the rounded shaped rectangle, that line like that. And now you type the other stuff here. Then you also now take a text box and write Newton Publishing Press, that is at Newton Publishing Press. You type bracket C, you type opening bracket, you type C, then you close the bracket and press space. It will automatically put that thing into publishing that way. Then there is the barcode reader. There is the barcode that is supposed to be drawn here. On the other hand, this one, the spine should not have outline, therefore you go to shape outline, no outline, should look like that. But this one should be thick, you go to shape outline, weight, you add weight for that one. Then you can go to fill, you go to pattern, you can change the pattern, try to look at which pattern has been used. Try to look at the pattern the examiner has used. Such that one is very close to what has been used. Then from there you need to come to insert shape, then you take a small text box there, then write ISBN 2145. This one. Notice the number there. This one is white. Then you can also draw another white stuff there. Then remove the outline that way so that it looks the same though different. Then you can now start drawing the you can draw the barcode. You can draw the barcode. You can use the arrow keys to make sure that they are of the same size. Then hold shift if you want to copy both of them, then paste. But I want them equal. So that we can actually draw that way. Then we can copy paste again. That, but now this one, copy paste. Then those three, they are actually fade. So I go to format, shape outline, make them fade. Then you can have these two again. 1, 2, copy paste. Then take them to the end. Okay. Now you can make this one thing just by being very keen. Then you group. Now I can take it inside here, and it looks what the examiner wants us to have there. Before you have that as the barcode, then still after let's have that one. Then after now having drawn this one and drawn the other one, we can now type our text here. If right click, then we go to, and therefore you type and ensure that this one looks exactly as that of the examiner. We try just to make it very similar in terms of which word ends where. Then we have our bullets, how to do this, and therefore now after doing that one, after doing that, we can now try to format. Like now this one, we just go to format, shape this, then we can go to pattern. Again, we try to fix the patterns used like that. Pattern we have used go to pattern. You try now to fix the patterns that way. Then for the gradient, like now for this one we have actually used the gradient. For the gradient, it's actually gradient that has been applied here. If we try to look at the gradient that have been used, so that you can be in a position to exactly score everything. Try to get across these first letters are a bit big. Increase the font size. That is exactly what I'm doing. Just increase the font size, and therefore after now doing so, come in a position to see that we are somewhere doing good, and we have actually done the needful. This one is add to dictionary that way. Therefore, at the end of that, you can at least enlarge the laptop shaped gadget. That way. Therefore, if you look at our examiner's diagram and ours, on the other hand, here you get that an A-plane is already there, and therefore we are here to make life simple, and therefore at the end of the time you'll be in a position to see that you only now needed to hit to print, and then your document will actually be printed. Therefore, thank you very much for watching. That is how 2016 question was supposed to be answered, and then you score your grade A.